Peanut Paste said, "Yes, you, Alex." Me, sitting in a lawn chair spitting out my soda. This is a fun joke. I'm just saying a name and startling all those with it watching. I'm sorry to any Alexes I scared, but not to you, Jake. Welcome back. Thanks for coming to this video where people are gonna make me look real dumb. So there's some things I need to establish before we go any further. The first is any comments that recommend me anything new to look into will not be covered right now. I've already decided that I'll be making a second Iceberg video, and those recommendations will be highlighted there. On my second channel, I'm uploading short review videos on each of the individual numbered Devil May Cry games. The comments and corrections for those will be covered alongside the second Iceberg video when we get there. Third, I just want to establish now, and in the future, any of these comments and corrections videos will not come out until at least a month after the main video, perhaps longer if there's a spike in views. I want to make sure as many people as possible get time to put in their 2 cents. Finally, and this is quite important, quite a few people tried to include links in their recommendations. YouTube doesn't like this, almost always marks it as spam, so please, if you have any links you want to share with me, DM me on Twitter, @UtterSpartanYT. And if you haven't watched the Iceberg video yet, why are you here? Let's start with the one I asked for, regarding Gilver. Adroit Maelstrom said, "I don't know if you're still interested, but in regards to Gilver, what the wiki says is basically true. In the Before the Nightmare novel, it stated that Mundus took battle data from Sparta, Dante, and Virgil to make black knights that wore armor made by Machiavelli, and sent them after Dante and Virgil. However, it's never said outright that this was Gilver. It's just implied since Gilver was stated to be wearing armor in the DMC1 novel, and would explain the Virgil similarities. It's really just the one thing that makes sense and fits with canon since Gilver is somewhat still seemingly implied to have existed. The implication comes from Morrison reminiscing about the events of the DMC1 novel in his first respective chapter of the BTN novel. This includes everything Gilver did, even if again, Gilver is never directly named. It's possible that it's not outright stated to be Gilver because of the perspective we get in this section of the novel. This is in the Trish chapter of the novel, and since Trish didn't exist at this point in time and therefore wasn't involved, it makes sense that she would only have general knowledge. As for why Morrison never named Gilver, Morrison never knew Gilver was behind things. He wasn't present for most of the Gilver-related incidents, so it again makes a sort of sense that he wouldn't name him. Still, it's all vague enough that if you really wanted to argue against this, you could. And then they provide some sources to this, which is very appreciated, and that second one I'm really surprised wasn't blocked. Great comments as I live and breathe. I did look into that broken translation, and what you said is certainly true. I don't really know what to add. Basically, Gilver is probably one of those Dark Knights, and that's what the wiki was referring to. Thank you very much for this comment, and I can never truly explain how much I appreciate this. This is exactly the kind of comment I'm looking for. I work very hard on my research, but there will certainly always be cracks, and comments like these are the reason this video exists. Bazinga says, "Hey, did you guys notice that the PlayStation Vita is actually in the Iceberg thumbnail?" Vita is Latin for incorrect. Cattern said, "That mobile DMC 3D game looked cute though, lol." I get a lot of comments like this. This is just the most liked one. Honestly, to each their own. I grew up on low poly Z-Fighty graphics, but this cell phone game just doesn't appeal to me. But I'm certainly starting to doubt my own taste with how many people were defending it. GameGod7 said, "How do you pronounce... I'd pronounce it as Hein, a single syllable word. In my brain, it was always Heine. Maybe this is a regional thing, like if you grew up with English as a second language, your brain doesn't immediately jump to butts. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I never considered it Hein." Lonely Bonely said, "Great video. Also, 3305, not exactly a new line. It's a cut down version of the line Dante says when you beat the first Devil May Cry on DMD mode. I'm surprised that's not on the Iceberg. Not a lot of people know about it since you normally skip the cutscenes."
Devil May Cry's a rockin', baby, yeah! Devil May Cry's a rockin', don't come a knockin', baby, yeah!
I know I just introduced myself to the DMC community at large, but allow me to return my fan card because I've never beaten DMC1 on DMD. I had no idea this was the case. Thank you. Olrak980 said, very interesting video and very well researched. Did you think of adding the similarly rumored Dante in Soul Calibur 3? It seems because his inclusion in SMT3, it was popular to guess Dante would be added to whatever random game on the PS2 era. And I followed that up with, this is an interesting comment. I did consider for a second talking about that, but Stumblebee made such an excellent video debunking that rumor that I thought, why bother? I probably should have at least brought up for a second and linked that video though. I know there are still people that believe this rumor. I said my piece in the comment there. I just want to make sure people saw this. Also, totally check out Stumblebee's video on this, it's great and I've linked it below. Wasser Lamone said, in a Devil May Cry 3 previs video Ruben Langdon uploaded on his YouTube, he listed Adam D. Clerk as Heine/Joker. Excellent catch. I had this video downloaded and I never noticed. Dankersus said, Subhuman's good. The production on the original version was bad. I don't like Subhuman, but I know people who do, and I was a little surprised at the amount of defense I saw it getting in the comments. I should have been more specific, and this comment touches on that. The original production quality of Subhuman was so bad that there were practically no defenders at the time. Look it up sometime if you dare. I highly recommend it to fans of Saint Anger. Polly said, dude, this is Kino. Great job. I wanted to include this to say thank you to everyone who leaves kind comments on my videos. There are ones longer than this too. I've gotten more positive feedback than I ever could have expected. It's always appreciated. Sometimes I fall into kind of a burnout slump after finishing a big video, and seeing stuff like this helps me get back out. I picked this nice comment out of all the rest because I wanted to say Kino. Mini Wonton said, thanks for calling out JoJo Wi-Fi. I'm condensing a lot of comments into this one too. Let me make this clear. I had little knowledge of JoJo Wi-Fi when I made this video. As far as I could tell, he was primarily a Devil May Cry video creator who had decent production quality but was pretty clickbaity. I've only seen like 2 or 3 of his videos though. I wanted to call him out because I saw that he had some talent and I believed he could be better. You don't need to lie or embellish to make sizable content about this series, and I hope I proved that. But what I didn't expect was the bad blood. JoJo Wi-Fi and another guy, John Fleer, have definitely pissed some people off in the community. It seems like the kind of misinformation peddled in that Dance of Sparta video wasn't quarantined to just that. I don't want to go into specifics, and I'm not interested in canceling anyone like I said before. I am very frustrated that they are spreading misinformation, but in the grand scale of things, this isn't a huge deal. I'd rather see them correct and better themselves than be run off the platform. Altreon said, did that 2024 schedule leak include Mega Man X9? I must know. We're all gonna make it together. But no. Time to finish off the comment section with Chili Apples, creator of the Iceberg that inspired me. This is kind of a dialogue. Chili Apples said, IGN mentioned Dance of Sparta in January 2006, but it wasn't a concrete confirmation. I said, IGN is typically pretty good at linking their articles to games covered. This is the page for DMC PSP. I don't see anywhere on there that Dance of Sparta is mentioned. Is it somewhere else? Also, I presume you're the same guy from Reddit, in which case, thanks, you did me a solid by making those icebergs. They then said, the link gets marked as spam. I followed up with, that sucks. If you look up Devil May Cry PSP on IGN, you should find it easy. They then put the link in the description of this video because the link kept deleted. Let's check out that video's link. Sure enough, on this archived IGN page it says Dance of Sparta JPN. In full it says, the title is expected to be called Devil May Cry Dance of Sparta, although this has not been the officially announced title, and would possibly focus on the legendary Dark Knight Sparta. Even here it's wishy-washy. There's nothing official and it admits as such, but why bother calling it Dance of Sparta then? I think the key is in the JPN. I cracked open my half-pint brain and tried to look on the Japanese internet for information. I came up mostly cold. The best I could find was these UMDs that were sold in Japan of behind-the-scenes footage for Devil May Cry 3. This makes me think, keyword there, think, this all started from a rumor in Japanese. I can't prove anything here, and I hope you understand that was my point in the original segment. It isn't that it is completely conclusively proven that the DMC PSP game wasn't going to be about Sparta. My point was that no one has significantly proven it was, and in light of that, we shouldn't claim as such. I really appreciate the link though. Thank you for that, and thank you for your icebergs. Now time to move on to the part where I rip into myself. I will be doing my corrections starting from the beginning of the video. Thankfully, you guys already hit me with the best ones, and at least this time, my research should keep me from looking like a complete idiot. We're going to be doing this quick and also adding in things I just want to add. I only show Dante examples in this video, but I want to make it clear that inertia affects other characters in DMC4 too. I call Enzo Farino in this, and I want to stress that's his name in Devil May Cry. He's just Enzo in Bayonetta. He's also called Enzo Fellini in Beautiful Joe. The Bangle of Time is actually called the Bracelet of Time in Bayonetta. You can see this on screen. The mission cutscenes for DMC3 aren't in the gallery, they're in the Demo Digest section, which is technically separate from the gallery. I feel my wording is off with calling Majin Devil Trigger a translation mistake. I'm not sure what exactly it should be called, but it's worth bringing up that technically Devil Trigger in Japanese is just Majin Modo, or Demon Mode. So I think the best translation and localization of Shin Majin Modo would be True Devil Trigger. This part right here is often interpreted as Majin Devil Trigger. It looks way different, but I thought I should mention it. I screw up hard here and I tried to save it in the edit. Japanese Hard Western Normal is a fundamentally bad name for this section. I imagine most people would include the PAL territories as Western, and their game has the same difficulty options as the Japanese version. Only the non-Asia NTSC version of DMC3 was changed. Until I rewatched my video to make this video, I never noticed that the hilt of Force Edge looks like Sparta's head. Kyle Ward wrote the 5th Underworld movie after the DMC movie was announced. I know Lady and Trish are playable in DMC4 Special Edition, and Trish is in too. When I said starring Lady and Trish, I meant a game where they're protagonists, playable from the get-go, an actual story. The website I pulled the interview about Dreamwave from wasn't Newsrama, it was Newsarama. Also, I definitely let this segment go on for too long. Trish wears a different outfit in the original demo too. Alessandro Taini. I probably said that wrong. Redfly Studio is most famous for a pitch they made of a Darth Maul game. Had a lot of good press. I'm gonna keep this short, but I have reason to believe there may be another Devil May Cry mobile game I missed, and I'll cover this on the next Iceberg. That's it for now. Anything critical I missed will be covered in the next comments and corrections video. Coming up, I've got the rest of those DMC reviews, second Iceberg, a Doom video, and then a comment and corrections for the rest of the DMC stuff. If you're interested, stick around. I always appreciate the support. Thanks for watching.